My name is Brent and welcome to Groundeffected. In this video I'm going to show you how I made water slide decals for my model that I painted, and I stuck them on the badges and as well as on the phone, but you can use this for anything you want. Honestly, this is one of the best things I've figured out. Even though I didn't figure it out, I saw it from someone else, but I figured out how to do it myself, and now it's friggin' amazing. Just follow this video and you should maybe be able to do this yourself. The first thing that I did was I drew up the decals that I wanted. Basically, I went into Procreate on my iPad and I drew up all the badges exactly how I wanted them to be, and I printed them out in a couple of different sizes just to check that they were the right size that I needed. This was a bit of trial and error as I'm not very good with measuring things, but it just printed a couple and eventually I landed on the right size. I then printed them on water slide decal paper. You can buy this stuff on Amazon. It's really easy to find. Just use an inkjet printer and make sure that you set your print to print on specialized glossy paper. Otherwise, you may have a bad time. You then take the paper out and spray it with a gloss varnish and allow it to dry. I then threw my water all over the place because I felt like this would just make it easier for me to make the video if there was just water everywhere. But for real, what you want to do is cut out the pieces that you need and make sure to paint white base before you put these down. The reason you paint a white base is mainly because these things are transparent. So if it's not white, you will not see white in the parts that you had left white. I also use decal set. This is something that is so important to setting decals on any model. I place that decal set all over the part that I'm going to stick this little transfer on, and I also stick it on the transfer itself. This breaks down the transfer paper. I don't know why, it's magic. Don't question it, just use it. I stick the piece on and I make sure to push it into place. Once it's in the place that I want it to be, I rub a very wettened Q-tip, which I've wettened with the decal set, funny enough, and I very carefully rub that over everywhere, making sure to push out any air bubbles or water bubbles that are underneath the sticker itself. I then painted the other parts white that I needed to make sure that the stickers were going to go over and still show that white underneath. Again, like I said before, these things are transparent, and being transparent means that you will not see white. If it looks like it's white, all of that is going to be clear. You dip these things into water in the exact same way that you do any other transfer, and honestly, this is genuinely a game changer for me. I think I'm gonna put water slide decals on everything from now on. You move them into place, and this is the reason why you use decal set as well. It gives you a bit of time to move these pieces around on the surface of the model without damaging them too much. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely damage them, but as long as you work within a good time frame and you don't mess about too much by pushing and twisting, you just need to move the thing on the surface and you should be good. As you can see, this Spiderman badge sticker is just dunked straight in the water, pulled off of the transfer paper, and lubed up with a whole load of decal set stuff, and then placed over the badge very carefully and gently massaged into place. Now, the only thing about decals like this is that they do tend to be visible that you have stuck them down. Usually they would be glossy, and this is because probably in this case I used the gloss paint to seal the print into the paper. But in order to fix that, you can just paint over the top of it again, and in my case I used a gloss transparent paint. If this was going on something that was matte or you wanted it to appear matte, just use a matte transparent paint or varnish, whatever you would like to call the transparent paints. For the headphones, I needed to do a similar thing, a little bit of trial and error here. I needed to paint a strip of white so that the Sony logo could stick out, and I just kind of trial and errored this. I stuck the little decal over the top, and that was it. Job done, bro. And that was it. That's where I called it done. If you would like to see the completed video of making this Spider-Man, make sure to check it out on the YouTube. You've probably seen it if you're over here. If not, definitely go check it out. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next one, bruh.